Hello, dear friends. This is Kira Rudik, member of Ukrainian parliament and leader of the political party Holos. I'm talking to you from Kyiv, Ukraine. As we all have predicted, the talks in Moscow have ended with nothing. And this is exactly what you can predict or expect when one of the sides, Russia, does not want to end the war. Otherwise, they would have agreed to a ceasefire and then these negotiations could continue. Right now, the only goal in these negotiations that Putin has is to escape the sanctions that President Trump has threatened him with. And he's successfully doing so. And this is the most upsetting part because meanwhile, he continues killing Ukrainians at the battlefield and in our peaceful cities because in fact, the attacks on Kyiv and other cities have intensified. So the question is, does the White House have a plan B? What to do if Putin is saying one thing and doing exactly the opposite thing? Surprise, surprise, never happened before. You should have learned from our mistakes to the times that we trusted that Russia, when saying we are not going to attack you, they are not going to attack you. But unfortunately, we have paid an enormously high price for these illusions that we used to have. So now we are calling for the White House and for our European partners to learn on the facts that happens in the past. And meanwhile, Putin is saying that he does not intend to attack Europe, but he can if he needs to. And this happens exactly at the same time when hybrid attacks in Europe have intensified, when Russian drones are crossing European airspace, and when Russian warships and Russian planes are crossing European borders from time to time. And so I would be very concerned if I were Europe, because it's obvious that Putin's ambitions are not ending in Ukraine. And again, nobody's talking of what would happen when the ceasefire would be achieved and why would it mean that Russia would stop. So these are all complicated matters that we, as of right now, do not have a good answer to. And the only good answer that we learned and we can show the world as something that is working with Russia is a language of strength, language of force. When you are fighting back actually at the battlefield, this is the only way to stop Russia from what they're trying to do. This is very upsetting that so many bright politicians throughout the world still have the illusions that they are those chosen ones who can talk to Putin and to put the war to an end. Unfortunately, there is no good path other than arming Ukraine, other than pressuring Russia with the sanctions, and other than using their confiscated Russian assets to buy all of the weapons that are needed. Otherwise, things will be where they are, and there will be more and more people who will die. And if one wants to be a real peacemaker, you should look yourself in the mirror and say, well, what I thought was working or could work is not working anymore and was never intended to work. And this is exactly what's happening right now in these negotiations with Russia. So we will be waiting for what would be President Trump's response. However, I'm very skeptical about any further attempts trying to bring Russia to peace. By the way, it's so upsetting that we do not hear peace through strength anymore. What we hear is dignified peace. But unfortunately, there will be no kind of peace unless there will be real change in strategy. Meanwhile, the political crisis in Ukraine continues. We still have to vote for the budget till the end of the year, and we are still hoping that there is a chance to regroup the coalition and reset the government so that we can work as the united front. Obviously, President Zelensky needs lots of support right now, but it cannot come only from his party and people who may be related to his previous chief of staff that was sent home. We want the investigations on the corruption to continue, and we want to make sure that the cleanup is wholesome and was not related to sending home just one person. So I will keep you posted on this. We really hope that we can make it through, especially that we are facing a really tough winter right now. The weather is getting worse and worse here in Ukraine, and we do not fix our energy grid as fast as we need to. So more things to come these days. Let's hope that at least internally we will be able to settle things out. Because as politicians, we still have one goal: to survive, and for our country to survive, for our people to have a chance, have a future where we can all work together. Thank you so much, and glory to Ukraine.